Hello friends, continuing with our series on Vietnam War, today we will do a book review of Vietnam, A History, authored by Stanley Karnow. On the first glance, it's a big size, voluminous book weighing about 750 to 800 grams with a whopping 768 pages in total. The book is published by Penguin Books and is not easily available across the stores and generally remains out of stock on Flipkart and Amazon as well. The paperback edition of this book costs around 2,152 rupees. It's a great book for your personal collection if you are a book lover or a book collector. Or in case if your requirement is just for the exam and if you are taking my notes, then you may skip buying this book. However, the choice is yours always. The book has been one of the bestseller of the author and also the winner of Pulitzer Prize. The font used in the book is large with good spacing and it makes it easy to read. This book has excellent black and white iconic pictures from Vietnam War. The only drawback which I felt in this book was the lack of maps. It has just 6 basic maps of Vietnam, almost kind of repetitive. Therefore, I have added more maps from Google wherever I felt necessary in my notes. The author was born in year 1925 in New York and served in US Army in China, Burma, India, theatre during World War II and began his journalistic career in Paris in 1950 as a Times correspondent. He served as chief correspondent for the series Vietnam, a television history for which he won 6 Emmy Awards. This book is a monumental narrative which clarifies, analyzes and demystifies the tragic ordeal of the Vietnam War, free of ideological bias, profound in its understanding, and compassionate in its human portrayals. It is filled with fresh revelations drawn from secret documents and from exclusive interviews with the participants, that is, French, American, Vietnamese, and Chinese, which included diplomats, military commanders, government officials, journalists, nurses, soldiers, and workers. The book is for anyone seeking a comprehensive history of the war, which is careful, factual, and free both of anti-communist and anti-war mythologies. This book, I must say, supersedes all earlier books to become the standard reference of work on Vietnam War. Coming on to the contents of the book has been divided into 16 chapters of approximately 40 pages each, in addition to the chronology, principal characters, notes, and acknowledgement. The notes follow systematically as to how French imperialists conquered Vietnam and how Vietnamese coped up with it and slowly adjusted it to the new way of life, despite being captured, and how Vietnamese nationalists kept struggle for their independence and how Ho Chi Minh came into prominence. The struggle story and victory of Vietnamese nationalists from French and declaration of its independence in 1945 post the Dien Bien Phu operations and the rise of General Giap. Next, with the French gone, how local politics played up and how US wanted to support the French for its reconquer. How both South and North Vietnam aligned themselves to the Communist and US, leading to the further troubles. Eventually, US directly getting involved in the operations from an advisory role against the North Vietnamese and Viet Cong. Later, how this superior power could not destroy the primitive yet nationalistic North Vietnamese who kept fighting against all odds. The course of war turned with assassinations of Diem and Kennedy, and the theatre seems to be I have forgotten for some period. There was a serious pressure back in US for pulling out from Vietnam on the future presidents of US. How politics was played on all levels at both sides figure out prominently, and how the commoners got crushed overall in these. The book finally brings out that though there may not be a distinctive victory to any side, both sides made a face-saving agreement to end the war. Well, that's it friends. This was the content of this huge voluminous book. Since the book is easy reading and with generic topics, it was comparatively easy for me to compress the entire book in about 128 pages in point form. I have prepared about 62 likely questions that one should be able to answer at the end of reading this book. The book gives full picture of Vietnam from the start to its present day. Overall, a good book if you are not reading it from exam point of view. As for me, I am impressed by this book. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe to it and stay for such like videos in future as well. Also, please forward it to your friends who might get benefited in return. If you have any suggestions, please do let me know. Till then, have a blessed time ahead. Bye bye.